Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Owner Disown. Oops, pressed the wrong button there.
Welcome to Own or Disown, where tech decisions are made easy.
So hello guys, thanks for joining in. Got the Legion 5 Pro here, so let's, we've got quite a few people in already. So how does everybody do? So yeah, I was lucky to pick this up. I mean, it's very hard to get hold of. I've got various, camera footages here, so I can show the overhead shot, and of course I can do a side shot, give you like an overview of what it looks like. And I've loaded lots of stuff on it, but I haven't actually had a chance to really test it that much, although I have done the battery life. And I managed to get like 7.5 hours or so on hybrid mode. And hello Hassam, how you doing? So, and then actually on dedicated GPU mode, I still got like 4 hours, 20 minutes. This is, switching to 60 hertz, which you can do by, by pressing FN and R. You can switch it to between 60 hertz and 165 hertz. So go back to 165. That saves off an hour in battery life. That helps. So that is worth doing. So at the moment, just to check, I think I've got everything on hybrid mode. Yeah, so we've got hybrid mode going there. So let's open up HW info. It cost me like $1,486 from Ant Online, and Lenovo told me, they said, "Where did you get it from? It's not on for sale yet." So I don't know whether they've got into trouble or not. Hi Nitin, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, so I think they might have got into trouble over this. It's funny, isn't it? So now, of course, it's 2560 by 1440. And the scaling I've got it at is 150%. So does it say scaling here? Oh, yeah, 150%, which is fine by me. I know a friend of mine's got his at 125% for coding. That helps. But as you can see, even here, the afterburn overlay is pretty small at 150%. So we've got that going. That's going. All right. So then what we didn't do Timespy last time, did we? Or anything like that. So let's launch 3D Mark and see how we get on there. So CPU thermals, yeah, we'll test everything here. We'll see how hot this gets. I want to try and aim for about an hour and a half on this if I can. I've got lots of different games on here as well. I tried loading Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I ran out of space. I've only got a 512GB SSD, and I've got an external SSD plugged in at the back. That's 512, but I still ran out of space. So let's get this opened up. We'll be able to do. I want to do a comparison. What's the difference between hybrid mode and balance mode? So let's put it back on. Let's put it on to performance. Pressing FN and Q, or at least change it to performance mode. Let's do Timespy here. So let's see what we got here. Does it have a military grade spec? Not as far as I know. No, ASUS tends to do that, don't they? They have the mil standard 810G, I think it is. Unfortunately not, but it's solidly built. I mean, getting the back off. I know a lot of you have problems getting the back off, but what I had to do was, I had to get just take the screws out, of course, and put a screwdriver in the hole and just leave, just push it out a little bit. Be careful not to scratch anything, and I'd create a bit of a gap. I did try doing a suction cup and pulling it up. I just wouldn't do it. I thought after 5 years, no laptop's ever beaten me, and I thought this one was going to. Fortunately, doing that, if you have problems, that's the way I opened it up. I wish they made it easier, like the HP Omen. That's dead easy at the back. Unfortunately, this one's not as straightforward. But the keyboard, as it's been doing this test here, you know, it's pretty good. I did that one with the 3 key, though. That was the one issue. All right, so we've got this going here now. So it is able to show, of course I'm in hybrid mode here, so it doesn't show the exact same as I had in dedicated GPU mode. So we've got the 5800H temperature here, and the power of the CPU here. Now it's not showing the power of the GPU, unfortunately, or anything much in terms of the GPU here. This is a bit of a bug, isn't it? I've also got to go into HDR info and set that up again, but I've obviously done it. Anyway, just for sake of argument here, I'm going to do most of my tests in dedicated GPU mode, but this one's just a comparison of what we get. Let's have a look. So hybrid. I'll give you an idea, because I think these Ryzen laptops do suffer more with the issue with Optimus. Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I mean, the fan noise on this is really quiet. Yeah, I'll show you the fan noise as this is right over the laptop, of course. I mean, of course, it's just started, but I mean, Timespy does tend to make things quite warm, but that's quite amazing, really. So yeah, Anthony, your ambient temperatures are over 32 degrees. Well, in here, I've lost my thermometer, but I've set it at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's around about 20 degrees Celsius. So I'll give you a bit of an idea. And I know a friend of mine's got had a Legion 7, I think it was, and it got hot where he lived, and it was 30 degrees Celsius. Now, this is a 130 watt 3060 Karan, yeah, 130 watt. You know, when we switch to dedicated GPU, you'll see the power showing up on the overlay, but it certainly seems to perform slightly better than the 105 watt Gigabyte G5. Now, the price of this, yeah, it cost me $1,486. That's after tax. Now, they did tell me that they were hoping that it would be starting price of $999. Now, I don't know where to get that from. I mean, that one would suppose that'd just be the 5600H and perhaps a 3050 or something like that, wouldn't it? One would suspect, but can't see them meeting that price point. But I do like the fact that you can switch between you know, it's got the mux switch, it's got G-Sync or FreeSync in hybrid mode here, which is 60 to 165 hertz range. So that's nice. Now, I understand that the HBO man from Jared's Tech, it was 60 to, I don't know, was it 30 to 60, something stupid. So at least you got the full range here. Alright, so in hybrid mode we've got a graphics score of 8776. CPU score 8244. Overall 8691. Alright, so we're going to switch into dedicated GPU mode now. So we could do that. Now you can do that, of course, within the software here. Unfortunately, you have to start it yourself. It's not a big deal, I guess, but at least the MSI does that automatically. Alright, so what other questions we got here? Yeah, I mean, it was good temps. There wasn't too bad. You know, I think it's fairly decent. Not too bad at all. I mean, I know when I did my stress test with Heaven and Ada64, got to like 91. Which, to be fair, is not too bad, is it really? Now, I thought they were saying there's going to be some fan control, and I haven't worked out how to do that. So if anybody knows. Thanks for the donation there, Sonny Horse. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. So what did you say there? For those who still want the 5 Pro in the US, Lenovo said it would be released on the 15th, but maybe delayed again. Now, what's the cause of these delays? I heard that's something to do with the Wi-Fi cards. shortage. All kinds of crap loading up here. I was going to show you so 67% of NTSC, 73% of the P3 colour gamut, and 94% of sRGB is what I measured. And in terms of the brightness and everything, you got 516 nits at 100% brightness, 275 at 75, and then it drops way off. Now, when you go in battery mode, it defaults at 28%, and that's what I did my battery test, but it's fairly dim at that point. Got good contrast, so it is a nice panel, and I do like the, you know, this 16 by 10 there. I really, really do like that. Let's get it loaded up again. Make sure we've got good, just a 3060 showing, and we'll do 3D Mark again as a comparison. Let's see what difference it makes there. Yeah, Bowsy. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks. Now, I did like that the fact that you get this this 1 year warranty of you know, a tech can come to your house and everything like that. You know, normally that was reserved for the Legion 7. So it's good to see that this is, you know, down at the not the lower end, I say, but you know, one of the baser models. Oh, well, let's see. No, we're still on performance. Okay, it's good. Get some music in the background. Yeah, that's a great panel. I couldn't find. I've got the panel manufacturing number, but I tell you what. I mean, I like the look of the Alienware M15R5, particularly with the mechanical keyboard. And you know, but you can get 10% coupon code if you do register with an email, and they send you all your crap by email. But it's still about $2,000. But you know, it's 16 by 9, which is fine. But once you've used a 16 by 10, it's hard to go back. Alright, so we've got the whole the metrics up here now, look. So, yeah, I'm showing the watts here for the GPU here. Of course, the GPU clock rate, percentage. The watts for the CPU, the temperature of the CPU here. So, of course, it does have Dynamic Boost 2.0 and resizable bar. And of course, as you see, the CPU, when it's lower watts, the GPU will boost up towards that 130. And let's check out the fan noise again. It's on dedicated GPU mode. So 48, and that's, I tell you, that's directly above the keyboard. So it's a very, very quiet laptop. Now on quiet mode, the fan stops spinning, you know, once the temperature drops down. Balance mode, it does seem to run constantly, or pretty much. But it's not that loud. I know some people have commented about coil whine. I've not experienced that. And a friend of mine has also said that he hasn't had that issue either. So it's looking pretty decent. I would like to see the white model. I would, but no, this is still pretty nice. It doesn't show too much in the way of smudges. The trackpad, you can see a little bit of oil there, but in the end, it's actually pretty clean. I like it. Yeah, we'll do some games. I just want to see the difference here between hybrid and dedicated GPU. So I'm going to run a dedicated GPU. So it's only done the one test in hybrid, but just give you an idea of the difference in percentage difference you're going to get. Shouldn't take too long. It's a fairly quick test, isn't it? So I've got games. Let me see. I've got quite a few games to run here. Let's say I tried loading Microsoft Soft Flight Simulator, but I bought Horizon Zero Dawn. We could do that one, I guess. I've never actually played it, but it's got a benchmark. I've also got Warzone. We can have a go at that first if you want. What else did I get? I've got all kinds of different games on here. Apex. Go on that, just in the training section, I guess. Battlefield 5, got that. Alright, so graphics score here 8977. CPU is 89, so get change. So to put that into perspective, the hybrid mode got 8776, so dedicated GPU mode 8977 divided by 8776. 2% difference. There's not much difference there in a game that uses quite a bit of the GPU there. So I'll put that. I've got a little score tab going here, so I'll just put that in here. Alright, so let's get a game going then, I agree. We'll do Warzone. Ah, it's fucking updating. That's nearly done. I can get it. No, don't let it configure it itself. We don't want that, do we? I get the picture and picture to work, but as you can hear, the speakers are pretty decent. All right. Yeah, the screen is really nice. I agree with you, Arthur. You know, I'm thinking about even selling me Dragon Shield, which, you know, I vowed I wouldn't do, but I'm thinking about it. So let's have look at the settings. I think I've got everything here maxed out pretty much. You know, pretty much maxed out. Got DirectX ray tracing enabled. I don't have any motion blur. Alright. Obviously I'm not too good at this game, particularly with a camera in front of my face, but we'll give an idea on what it's like. Actually, before I do that, I've got to configure. Didn't do that, did I? In Afterburner. benchmark. Just and get that up. That's doing the freaking optimizing its shaders. It's nearly done anyhow. So let's have a look at some of the questions. Oh yes, is build quality that screen? I mean, it is. It's a die for, really. It is really nice. Backlight blade. I haven't tested that yet, so I can't comment, I must admit. But I will do that. I mean, I could turn all the lights off here, but perhaps we could do that at the end. I think it's a great size. The 16-inch. You know, I like 17 inches, but you know the laptops can be a little bit big and heavy. So this is a nice middle ground, and I do like the extra real estate. I was going to show you what it's like in my video editing software, because I do get extra, you know, visibility on my timeline. So that's a big win for me. Have I applied the GPU overclock in the BIOS? Not yet. No, I've actually did it by Afterburner. And we can play around with that. I mean, I've got it at 140 plus 140 in Afterburner. And I think once you found a stable point, then yeah, put it in the BIOS. It's dead easy to do, and it's good that they do that. Can I get the Legion 7 2021 model? Yeah, I've asked Lenovo for the Legion 5 and the Legion 7. I'm being a bit greedy, I know. But hopefully they will send me it. I mean, I love the Legion 7. I love the extra, you know, bling, the RGB. It's a little bit thinner, lighter, I think. And I mean, that would be the one for me. Right, what's happening now? All right. Do solos because I don't want to piss anybody off. But I mean, it's hard to put it into words. But the extra space there just makes it look better, even for gaming. I mean, it does. You know, it doesn't look stretched or anything like that. You know. Yeah, I'd say for productivity, it's great. And I had it running for ages on quiet mode last night, just browsing the web, and the battery was just sipping, just doing that type of stuff. And it didn't get hot, of course. It's very good. Oh, yeah. QHD screen. It's great. I wonder if more manufacturers will do this 16 by 10 now. I mean, I hope so. Ah, bugger behind me. The roof of death. We go back on the roof of death. There's my body. I'll teach you, you bugger. Alright, that's that.
Now we do this for real.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'd loaded Flight Simulator, but it's like I need another 180 gigabytes of space, and I just ran out even with my external hard drive in. So that's I'm gonna have to do that for the review or something, because they really should have put a terabyte hard drive in here. I think 512 gigabyte these days is not. It's ridiculous. This game alone's 200 odd, and the Flight Simulator is about the same. I mean, it's just it's insane. It's insane, isn't it? Particularly when it's so hard to get into this bloody thing. Just go over here somewhere.
Clear to engage all targets. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Fuck, I didn't last long there, did I? Oh god, let's go in again. Killed one dude. Yeah, this is max settings. And you got to bear in mind it's QHD, isn't it? So we'll see what happens here. And I can lower the resolution. We'll try 1920 by 1200. This is max settings with ray tracing, and I don't have DLSS on either. I don't normally do very well in this.
Sort them out or capture the objective.
Alright, I won one! I won a gulag! Alright. Let's go down here. I still only get my pistol, haven't I? Alright, let's start the benchmark.
Moving.
4 for this, isn't it? I haven't really played this game, to be honest. Lots of guns. I still think, oh, it's 80 FPS on max settings, QHD. That's not too bad, is it? So let's get some outdoor scenes going. Then I'll switch the resolution. We'll test that. Get some trees. I've already picked off by a sniper or something here. Alright, it's a 76. Temperature seem okay, look, 80 degrees, 116 watts on the GPU.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Right, let's find some shelter before I change resolution. Alright. Alright, so let's change resolution then. Options. Graphics. Must be general, is it? That's blank, look. There you are. There you go, it's hidden, isn't it? It doesn't change VSync or anything, does it? think so. Alright, so now we're at 1920 by 1200. You know, you can see a difference going. I can. I'll have to look back at the replay, but in terms of sharpness, and I think even the amount of information you can see on the screen, it's different. Let's do the benchmark here. So we're getting a little bit extra. I think it's good price for its performance. I agree. Oh, there's somebody here, look. Oh, let's get him. Fuck, I should have shot him first.
We lost that one, but we'll come back stronger next time.
Alright, so let's have a look at the benchmark numbers there. Oh, I'm in the fucking gulag, aren't I? We'll be in the gulag. So we were getting 78 average in QHD. And we're getting 94 on 1920 by 1200. Alright, so let's just put that in the script. There you go. So that explains the difference. And of course, you can lower your quality settings. Lower your quality settings if you want. Now you notice I've got a telephone number there as well at the bottom, 856 a number. That if you want to ring that, that'll join in onto the stream. Ring me on my phone, and then you'll be on the stream. You can ask whatever questions you want. Everybody can hear you, of course. So let's have a look. Let's load up another game. Steam. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's got a benchmark. So while that's loading, when you make a review for this laptop, could you mention it has pretty much the same performance on the GPU as a desktop? It probably performs what, like, I don't think it performs like a desktop 3060. It won't do that. What's this here? It's probably like a 2060 Super, isn't it? Desktop, something like that. I mean, I think it's slightly ahead of my 2070 Super in the GE66. But it's probably like a 2060 Super, I suspect, desktop card. Now, I did run all these games before just to stop all this crap. You probably have to actually even stop. Is there any way of bypassing this nonsense? Anybody play this game? Yeah, the 5800H does beat out the i9 9900K in its technical tests. In Cinebench R20, I got like what 4,980, something like that. And I think my 9900K in my laptop gets something like 4,600, something like that. So there's a definite difference. So I don't think there's any way to bypass this, Horizon Zero Dawn. If anybody knows how to bypass this narrative screen, let me know. But hold on, let me see what I can show you while that's still doing it. We can test the speakers. It's pretty loud. And the speakers are quite full, don't sound tinny like on my GE66. They are much better. Well, if you'd like me to skip this stupid thing, let me know. Can't imagine you have to go through this every time you want to play this game. It'll drive you insane. So, who would want the, when you're buying this model, would you rather go for the 3070 or the 3060 model? Because I think from what Jared's Tech was showing on the Legion 7, he had a 30... Didn't you have the 3080 on his? I think he did, but that was only like 10% higher, faster than this 3060. And I think for the difference, that's not that much of a difference, is it? And I thought, from my understanding, other people with the 3070, this showing like a 5% advantage over this 3060. So I think this, for 1486 after tax, this is a good value laptop. I really do. I mean, it's not the lightest laptop ever. It says what, 5.4 pounds or so. But yeah, it's certainly not that light, and the power brick is pretty big. It's thin, but it is big. But it's not the most portable of laptops. Probably that's the Legion 7 would be the one to get. But I think it's one of my favourite laptops so far. I still think that the Gigabyte G5 is probably one of the best value ones. If you can pick that up for $1,100 with a 105 watt 3060, I mean that's just slightly below this one, and it's big difference in price. But still, can't fault this. So let's see what questions we got. 5800H should be around 9.4. Yeah, the key lighting. Okay, of course, I've got the lights on here, but I don't think the key lighting is that great. When you boot up, of course, it comes in like a wave, which is annoying. I don't like that particularly. And there's about 3 different patterns you can have, and other than that, you can do it in 4 different zones. So it doesn't have like the bling like the Legion 7 will have, or the GE66. I mean that lighting is great. But it's okay. I just got it set on one color, and that's fine. So but it would be nice if it had a bit more bling, I guess. But one thing I've always would like to have seen is that the back here, of course, you got the port symbols. They don't light up, of course. We'll do on the Legion 7. I finally got past that nonsense. So settings, native resolution, ultra quality. Run the benchmark. I think it's a long benchmark though. I think, but we'll have a look at the temperatures on this. Ultra quality. So, how does this compare with the Asus Zephyrus G15? They both come at the same price. Well, I did like the G15. I really did. The speakers were good. I'd say similar to this, really, even though that had 6 speakers, but some people reported popping. I thought the keyboard, everything was good. The effect on the Optimus was a bit more pronounced than it is on this, from what I can gather at the moment. But which one do I prefer? I mean, that had better battery life. I think I got close to 12 hours on that. It's a toss-up. I think for me, I think I'd still go with the Legion 5 because of the 16:10 aspect ratio. I like that. But the G15 is very, very lightweight. It's lighter than this. So it's, for travel-wise, it's more portable. You can charge both with the USB-C port, which is nice, of course. Now, that doesn't have a webcam, does it? I haven't tested a webcam on this, if that's an important thing for you. I mean, for me, it's not such a big deal anymore. It used to be a big deal. So, this game's pulling about 116 watts. As you see, the CPU's using a bit more watts than before, than Timespy. So, 40 watts here. We're still getting well over the 60 FPS. And, of course, even if you're on good G-Sync going here, but if you're on hybrid mode, you'll probably get just slightly less, and you got the FreeSync and it still falls within the range. I was thinking of getting one of these with the 5800 and 3070, 1600 euros. Yeah, I must admit, I wanted the 3070, but from what I heard, 5% difference. I don't think it's that much of a difference, really. I mean, I'm quite happy with this 3060 performance. I mean, here we've got max settings, QHD, 70 FPS. I mean, it's great, isn't it? The thermals are fine, 82 degrees. Good GPU utilization, of course, at this resolution. We should see that. So I think all in all, it's and I really like the low fan noise. I also like that in the BIOS you can apply an overclock on the GPU, and I do also quite like the fact that you can, set it so that you can power the laptop on just by opening the lid. I'm getting a little bit more lazy in my old age. Valorant, I didn't load Valorant, but I got Apex on. I mean, I've ran out, like I said, I've got hardly any space. Alright, so 70 FPS there. Ultra quality. Alright, so put that one on there. So I think that's pretty impressive. We'll exit that. Now you probably want to see something like Apex. That's under Origin, isn't it? Origin here. So I've got all this loaded on this external drive because I did 512 gigabytes. I ran out so quick. Hey there, Alex, how you doing? I'm not the Apex Legend. I don't even play it. I've played it like twice, right? And I'll just go into training whatever thing here because last thing you want to jump in and then not work as a team, I guess. A phone call. If it's one of you guys calling me, ring again because it said scam caller. I get a lot of freaking scam callers. All right, so settings. So net native 1600. VSync disabled. Alright, so pretty much look like pretty maxed out, aren't we? Hello? Oh, I can't hear you. I'm afraid that I'm afraid of the phone's not working by the looks of it, guys. On Bluetooth. I couldn't hear it through my headset. Hello? Yeah, I'm afraid I'm having technical difficulties on my phone here. It's unfortunately it's not coming through the system. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can't. I don't think anybody can hear you. I'm afraid. I'll try and put you on speaker. Yeah, no, it's just I've got technical difficulties. I'm afraid. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's strange that. I've got you on my speakerphone now. Hello.
All right. I can start asking my question.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, that's strange. I think everybody else can hear you now. Sorry about that.
That's great. All right. So my name is Joey. I just wanted to ask you all. First of all, I want to say thank you for letting me on and asking questions, Susan. I appreciate everything that you do here.
Oh, no problem, Joey.
I saw in a previous video that someone said that you guys, Bob or Trey, Jared, you guys provide most information that the customers would want, and I want to say thank you. That's very true, because finding accurate information on YouTube about computers and these gaming laptops is very difficult to find. So you are appreciated. Thank you very much.
Oh, I appreciate that, Joey. Yeah, thanks very much for saying that. It's kind of you.
So I saw that you reviewed the electronic Meg 15 earlier this year.
Yes.
Earlier this year, right?
Yep.
And I'm having a lot of trouble deciding between the two because they're both wonderful laptops, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to start off. I have a few questions. So is this really the size factor? Which one would you say is thinner? Because I know that Electronic made the chassis a little bit thicker this year because of the 3000 series. Which one would you say is thicker? This one, the Legion 5 Pro, or the Electronic Meg G15?
Oof. They're pretty similar, to be honest with you, Joey. You'd probably have to go on their website and just look. But in terms of, I'd say the Legion 5 feels a bit heavier.
Yeah, that's definitely. I saw the battery. The charger. That's a brick.
It's a huge brick, yeah, and it feels denser, the laptop as well. I mean, it's quite well balanced, but when you're carrying it in your hand, but it feels more solid, more like carrying a big brick than the Meg 15 certainly seemed lighter. So I think for portability wise, I think the Meg is a bit better.
Yeah, and the Meg has a mechanical keyboard. Would you say that the mechanical keyboard on the electronic Meg G15 is better?
Yeah, I do. I like that. I like the mechanical keyboard on the Mac. It's one of the key points, even from last year. To me, if you don't mind it, of course, the extra noise, I found it a lot better. Yeah, good tactile feedback, and I do like it. And it's a great laptop. I thought it ran reasonably cool. I mean, I didn't have any serious issues with it. I've still got to upload the video. I've got done all my tests. I only had like it for a day or two, but I thought it was a really nice laptop. It's got a webcam this time at the top.
they're both amazing laptops. So my real issue right now is that availability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like Legion, it seems like the Legion is coming sooner than the Mech is. Because I'm not planning on buying a 3080 or an Intel-based laptop, gaming laptop, anytime soon. I would rather prefer a 3060 or a 3070 with AMD, and I'm not sure when that's going to happen with electronics. So now that's kind of pushing me towards the Legion 5 Pro.
Yeah, I think on their website, aren't they still saying like May? Aren't they mid-May? Are they saying? Is that accurate? I don't know anymore.
Right, and that's the thing. And I feel bad because I want to support them because I think that I think his name is Will, correct?
Yeah. The CEO's Will. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy, and I really do want to like support them. And I think what they're doing is amazing. But like, it's just like I need the laptop before June ends. So, and I'm not sure. But just the last question. You said the performance, right? This is a 3060. You said that I checked on your community tab that the Lenovo was sending you a Legion 5 and a Legion 7. Is that coming with the 3070, or because I know you're going to do a review on that?
Yeah, I don't know what they're sending me. They sent me an email saying, "Oh, the Legions have come in, and we're going to send them out next week." So I asked, can I have the 5 and the 7? And I don't know how many units they've got. Of course, they probably send them to like Matthew Moniz, other people, no doubt. I'm probably fairly low down on the pecking order of things, but it's kind enough for it to at least let me know that they've come in. And I always suspect that if they've got them, it can't be too far away from being in for release to the marketplace. Yeah, I have asked that question and she hasn't answered. But I'm hoping they will be available still this month. I mean, it's no point people doing reviews on them if they're not available for the public, is there?
Yeah, I hope so too. I really do.
Yeah.
Just one last question about battery life. Right? I'm pretty sure the electronics has better battery life, correct?
Electronics. Let's have a look at my notes. I got 7.5 hours on this. Let me see if I can look at my notes. I tested that. Just checking my notes here for you. I don't think I had time to do the battery life, but the previous generation, it was about 7 hours as well, if I remember right. But it's got a slightly larger battery, hasn't it? So one would think that it should be. In theory, it should be. I mean, this has got 80 watt hour. That's what got like a 94 or something, isn't it? Something like that. So it should be better. You probably should get about 8 hours, I suspect.
That's great. That's amazing.
I mean, it's certainly, if you want a good battery life, the Ryzen ones are the way to go, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even the 5600H is even more. I mean, I remember the 4600Hs, they were getting a good 4 hours more than the 4800H model, so I think it's definitely worth getting. I mean, I did like the Mech. Given the choice between the two here, it's tough because I like the screen better on this Legion 5, But I like the keyboard better on the other. I don't know. I must admit that the Mech 15 won me top reward last year, and it's going to be close this time. But tell you, if this had a mechanical keyboard, this would be definitely the Legion 5 Pro would be probably the best one. But still, the keyboard's fine. I mean, if you like the membrane keyboard, it's a Legion Lenovo keyboards are good, aren't they? So I just got my problem with my 3 key a little bit.
But thank you for answering my question, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. I'm sorry the phone didn't work too well. Don't know why.
Have a nice day, man.
And you take care. Bye, buddy.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, so We're in the game now. I've turned the volume down because of the phone. This is just a training section, isn't it? So I think I've got to do all the jump. I've done a jump, slide. I've done all that. Then this guy will come down. I can open up one of these containers. So 125 watts running this. I've got the QHD max settings, 115 FPS. Take that, you bugger. Oh, easy. Okay. And so yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, I think 81 degrees Celsius. You want to try me on 1200p? Okay, let's have a look. 112. And 148. That was quite a big difference, of course. Less pixels. But let's have a look at what looks better. Let's see. Can we see more there? So we've got on the left-hand side of the thing. That's about the same. If I had been psychological, I thought it looked better. But anyway, you get a good boost there, even at the 1200p. So let me put that in here. So Apex, we got 70. We got 110 QHD. Like 150 full HD. So that's pretty decent. Yeah, 1200p. Yeah, that's great performance, I think. I mean, you're not going to go too wrong in that game. Let's put the scores on. Apex. HD 150. Yeah, I mean that's good. Well, let's start a game on that stresses it out. Let's put on a Battlefield. Oh God, what updates this? Alright, so I thought I did all the updates. So which are better? The Lenovo Legion 5 Ryzen 3071. Well, I haven't tested the Legion 5 yet, I mean, someone said that the trackpad seems a bit small on the Legion 5. They must have it in Europe somewhere. I'm not sure it's the same size. I'll have to, when I get one, I'll do a side-by-side, because I'm either going to be selling this or keeping it. Of course, I had only two options, but I saw on eBay someone was selling it for $3,000, believe it or not. But I do really like the screen, so I might sell my Dragon Shield. So DX11, auto settings. I normally just do this mount so we can benchmark it and have comparable results. Now my 2070 Super would typically get at least 110 to 115 FPS at this, and I expect something similar, although we're at QHD here, aren't we? Squeeze the speakers a bit. Right, on to start. Oh, and the game's ended already. Freaking heck. Defeat. GPU overclock. Should we overclock the GPU? Yeah, hell yeah, let's do that while we're waiting here. Right, so 100, we've got 140 on the core, 150 on the memory. 160 on the core was unstable. Could not fetch your report. Let's see if the round starts here. What memory modules? I could go into HW info, check that out. Yeah, nothing's working here. Yeah, it's not letting me deploy. It's annoying. Start that game again. I think when I came out of there, it seemed to sort of like screw it up a bit, didn't it? So what am I, Richardson Harris says, what are your feelings on this versus the Omen 15 so far? Well, I prefer this Legion 5 Pro. I mean, the Omen is lighter. I've got that here. So I've got that, the Omen is definitely a bit lighter. Thickness is probably similar. You know, I like how you can get in the back easier on the Omen. That's so much better to get in. So accessibility upgrades so much easier. Yeah, I mean the keyboard's fine on both. I'd say they're about the same. But I like the screen on this Legion 5. That extra vertical real estate just looks so nice, you know, and it is brighter. You do have some. I got 515 nits. So on this, let me. Let's see if we can last a bit longer this time. The cooling on the Intel Omen was very good. I heard reports that it's a bit hotter on the Ryzen one, but of course you don't have. You've got FreeSync on the Ryzen Omen, but I think it's got a shorter range. Well, here you've got G-Sync and FreeSync. My God! I just freaking spawned you, bastard! Go on. So I'm going to spawn somewhere where there's nobody around. Spawn back here. Alright. See, the speakers are loud, aren't they? It's only at 30%. So this is performance mode, and what we'll do, we'll switch it to balance mode as well to see what difference we get in terms of thermals and everything. Oh, it's fucking standing in that window. Alright, so we should probably creep up to, I think the highest temperature I've seen was 91 degrees. We're working at about 90 here. Alright, so we've got like 103 FPS, 102 there. Let's switch to balance now, auto. Tweak it for standing still. So let's have a look. We've got 44 watts, 82 watts on the GPU, balance mode. 103. The performance mode. So yeah, we got a bit more watts there to the GPU. So definitely, you know, it's worth doing. Now quiet mode here. I'm going to play on quiet mode. The screen gets dimmer. 9.5 watts on the CPU. Look at that there. But he's still getting a decent frame rate. Still playing fairly well. I mean, this is QHD as well, isn't it? So even quiet mode is pretty decent. Very impressive, is that? So back into balance mode. Alright, so there you go. So all in all, I think that's pretty decent. It doesn't reach 90 degrees there, really, did it? And there's certainly a balance. It was a little bit cooler. You know, Battlefield 5 here, we're typically well, probably averaging around about 90 there, won't we? I'd say. So let's put that down. But I tell you what, that's I mean, that's the QHD resolution, isn't it? Let me just double check that. See, that's a great score, isn't it? I'd say about 90 FPS QHD. It's pretty decent. So let's put that in here. Yeah, I think that's that. I mean, even in quiet mode there, what you had 52 FPS, something like that. You know, you can't complain with that. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Metro Exodus. Let's just do the inbuilt benchmark. Yeah, some good frame rates on that. Let me see, where did he install this game? I can't find it. Trying to find the launcher, but I have to do a different game then. About Forza Horizon 4. Battery life, Cameron, on native resolution 60 Hz. I got 7.5 hours, and it's about an hour less when you do 165 Hz. So that's, you know, and that was streaming YouTube, but that's at 28% brightness, which is on the dim side. I recommend 50% is probably where you need to be at. So I suspect you'd probably get around about, you know, 6.5 hours, something like that, probably. Depends what you do. I mean, I was just browsing the internet and it seemed to be lasting longer than streaming YouTube. I don't think the overlay works, and I don't really play this game. But, so here we've got 2560 by 1600, target rate 165. All the settings. So we'll try this. There's a 1200p blue on the QHD screen. I wouldn't say so. I do seem to prefer it in you know, in the gaming. Perhaps it did seem a bit sharper, but I wouldn't say the 1200p was particularly blurry. I think it might have just been a psychological effect, I guess. And here we get QHD. But I think for general applications, 150% scaling looked great for me. As I say, a friend of mine who does programming, he dropped it down 125%, so you can get a shitload on the screen. But to me, that was a little bit small. As you can see, some applications, even at that scaling, like Afterburner, was quite small. You know, if you had 125%, it'd be too hard to see. But yeah, no, I think all in all, it's a shame the overlay doesn't work on this game. But so Forza hates my 20-year-old direct input controller. I need to play these games. I've got a racing chair in a box, and you know, I want to put my steering wheel and everything. I want to set that up. In fact, I've always wanted to get one of those simulation rigs on, you know, on like Rams or whatever. Yes. There's so many things I want. I also want a virtual reality treadmill. My God, I need two jobs. Well, Forza, how many FPS? It'll tell us. Forgive me, I mean, I don't play this game, so I set 165 target on this. There might be an option to show. In fact, there is there. Look here, it shows you there. Oh, there you go. Anyway, so we got 110 FPS there. I'd like ultra settings. 10 FPS. So that's pretty decent. I don't think we need to lower the resolution for that, do you? Let's put that in here. Forza QHD max settings. I think that's pretty decent. I think 16 to 10 is noticeable. I mean, it's what we need to do. What I should do, I'll, before we finish, I'll do side by side of a 16 by 9 and a 16 by 10 with the same type of application open. How do we get out of this stupid game? You know what? Let us close. There we are. Found it. All right, so let's do. The good thing about this one, you can change the resolution. So 1080p, ray tracing, ultra, DLSS on, right. Let's do one run. And then we'll be able to compare this against other systems so you can have an idea, right? Of course, it's like windowed. Let's see what. So the Gigabyte G5, I wanted to see what results we got for that. That was getting an average of 53 FPS at 1080p. So we'll see what we get here. Yeah, I put RTX on Warzone. That was maxed out. I didn't have any motion blur though, but everything else was maxed out, wasn't it? Yeah, Cameron says letting the battery drop below 5% and charge over 100% will cause battery wear. Yeah. Completely draining the battery kills it. A friend of mine, even on his GE66, he had it set to stop charging at 60%, but then you put it into sleep and it would drain the battery overnight. You'd have to charge it up again. And he ended up in a month, had a 30% battery wear. Killed it. So here we got 52. So it's actually the 1080p. It was below the G5, eh? So let's put that in here. And we'll tell you what, for shits and giggles, whilst we've got this, you might as well do the proper resolution. So I think the CPU must have been bottlenecking it there. I'll have to look at the replay, but it's. Let's see what it's like at full resolution. So Metro. Oh, and the overlay. The overlay's not on now, look. Fucking typical, isn't it? Typical. But we'll see. We got 51 before. I mean, we should get less, but if there was a bit of a bottleneck there, you might well be close. So Intel is about 4% ahead of AMD in gaming. I think they still have a slight advantage. Yeah, I agree with you there. Certainly in some games like, the Far Cry series, Intel definitely does better there. I don't know what the reasoning is. I mean, does anybody know what the reason is for that? But I think AMD is certainly closing the gap, and I think as time goes on, we'll see. But I should be getting. In fact, I do have an 11th gen. I've got it's a desktop chip. I've got 11900K in Clevo to unbox, and that's got 165 watt 3080 in it. So we'll see how that gets on. But once the mobile ones come out and I get one of those, of course I'll be doing a comparison against these Ryzen chips. Could Intel be winning because of 8 versus 16 PCI Express lanes? Could be, but I've read many reviews where they're saying that 8 doesn't bottleneck it. So is it perhaps some other latency involved, perhaps somewhere along the line? I mean, I think the difference between 8 and 16 PCI Express lanes must only be a couple of FPS. But I think for mobile space, I think the big benefit is the battery life you get, So at QHD we got 40. All right, so there you go. That's not too bad. Now, what question? We had a question to have a look at something, didn't we? Well, the RAM, you wanted to see the RAM. Did you want to see... let's have a look at the RAM modules. Someone wanted to see that. Let's see if it tells us here. No, it just gives us the speed, doesn't it? It doesn't give us the timings. It doesn't give us the manufacturer of the RAM or anything like that. Well, let's open up an application side by side. My video editing software.
Ian. To accept.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Is this
Stephen.
owner of this one?
Yes. How do you do? You're on my stream. So I didn't catch your name.
Yes. Sorry. My name is Ian.
Oh, hi Ian. How are you doing?
Good morning. I just wanted to thank you for doing this live stream for the people who are curious for the performance. I know a lot of people in the States have been clamoring to get their hands on this laptop, so it's a lot of help.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was so easy. It was easier to get hold of. Fortunately, I was given a heads up by a friend who was on that Discord server, who said it was available for sale on Ant Online, and I don't think they were supposed to be selling it.
Speaking of which, I'm also in that Discord server, so yeah, I know a lot of people were curious about the RAM, but I just wanted to say that for the CPU performance, I kind of checked up on the earlier Timespy, as like people have been getting like around 10.5K CPU score with a 32 gigabytes once they upgraded it with the 5800H.
Right, yeah, I heard that. It was actually one test I was thinking of doing. I was going to upgrade to 32 gigabytes and see what improvement we get.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that, and also like keep up the good work, because not a lot of people know about the very intricate details of like how to get the best performance in a laptop. So
I appreciate that.
Appreciate the good work.
Appreciate that, Ian. No, I really do. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Yeah, so I do plan to do a test on putting more RAM in. I was going to do again the difference between balance, quiet, because I know some people want a game on quiet mode. Even we saw there is 55 FPS even at QHD in Battlefield 5. So I think it's possible, and I'll measure the fan speeds, and of course I'll do the thermal imaging and test how hot the chassis gets. But all in all, I don't feel that the chassis gets particularly hot. And I think add more RAM, I'm sure that probably will benefit. But I do like the display, and if I was going to do a quick comparison here, if I can, on my camera, with the same application going, here we go.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best. Yeah, and just one last thing is that also one thing to look out for is that not only did the average get better, but also the low 1% average also got higher too after upgrading. So
yeah, the 1% lows will get better. Yeah, I think it's a way to go. It's a shame. See my Dragon Shield here on the right has got 32 gigabytes. I was just going to take that out and slap it in here for the test. I hope they do offer a 32 gigabyte configuration. I'm sure they probably would. But
Legion 7 comes to default from what I've seen from the other countries, 32 gigabytes.
Does it? Yeah. I must admit, the Legion 7 is one I would really like. I mean, I would like, it's a little bit thinner, I think, and I like the extra bling on it, but I don't know, I want to pay any extra money. I mean, probably $2,200, something like that, is it? It's for $800 more than this.
If you get the 37, it seems like to be like around $200 to $300 more, maybe.
Is it? Okay. Well, that'd be worth it then. That'd be worth it for sure, yeah.
No, thanks for having me.
And, anytime, Ian.
Keep up the good work, sir.
Cheers, buddy. Take care. Bye.
All right, take care.
So yeah, just wanted to quickly show you. I use Magic's video editing software, so this is 150% scaling in here. So it shows 8 on my timeline here, while 6 on a regular 1080p panel. So it just for my editing, it's good. I mean, we can change the scaling. Let's see what we can. 125%. Depends on the application, so it's not getting any benefit on there. So, but on here, the 1080p. Was 125%. Yeah, so it actually has no benefit on my software at all, changing the scaling at all. Either way, no matter what you do, I'm seeing 2 extra lines on my for my timeline, which can be benefit when I'm sometimes got 4 cameras to feed in. That works out quite well. Oops. I think that's probably pretty much it. I've done most of the games. Is it silent? Let's see. Do you want to do? I've done a speaker test already, didn't I? It's silent on quiet mode. It is silent. I mean, in gaming it's not, of course, but once it drops below a certain temperature, and I can measure that in the review, the fan stops spinning. So that is definitely worth having. I do like the fact I really do like it when you switch. Profiles, the color on here easy changes from blue on quiet, white on balanced, and red on performance. You can see which setting you're in, because I mean half the time you got no idea, so that's good. And I like that in the BIOS you can overclock the GPU as well, and 140 megahertz seems to be stable there. I had that setting on a couple of games at the end. The base model as a price, well, I think they said it was going to be $999, but I don't know what the spec of that would be. So, but with all the shortages and I doubt doubt we'll see that price level on a 3060. So I think $1,400 here is probably what we're going to get. Of course, with the 5600H, that probably drop off another $100 perhaps. So you might see it for like $1350 or something. Yeah, I think Arto, what battery life are you seeing on yours? I mean, I'd say 7 hours is probably quite reasonable. Great. Well, I think that's does Lenovo let you cap the battery charge? Yes, they do. They do let you do that in the software. I'll show you the software quick overview again. So you've got it under the power options here. Conservation mode. So that'll let you cap it at up to 60%. You got the rapid charge. I think that probably charges it up. I haven't tested it, but like 50% in 20 minutes or something like that. So that's a good option to have. I've got to test this yet. Automatically detect the current game and tune the CPU GPU performance in balance mode. I've got to test that and see what difference that makes. But of course, you can change it to hybrid mode. I've got screen overdrive on, so I'll test the ghosting. I'll have to do that yet. The lighting. I think the key lighting is probably the weakest part, in my opinion. I'd rather it was just it was a bit nicer, but you got the usual 4 zones, so you can change different colors. Or if you just want to change in the old keyboard, you can easily just do that. I got that all one color because different profiles aren't that good. It's fairly basic, really. Webcam. Let's get the webcam up. I haven't tested that yet, have we? Camera. It looks a bit grainy, doesn't it? Of course, it's dark behind me, but doesn't look that good. But normally they have quite good microphones on here too. So that will what we do is just record it. We'll see what it's like on the microphone when we play it back. Some speakers. We'll see what it's like on the microphone when we play it back. Yeah, the microphone sounds quite decent. So, but it's it's a typical 720p webcam. It's not the sharpest. Great. Well, thank you for everybody for tuning in. I better go off now. So, thanks again to come. I will be comparing it against the Ryzen. I mean the Ryzen Omen, and I've also got this one I bought, the Helios 300. This was from the laptop from God a couple of seasons ago, wasn't it? But this is the 3060 in it. It's 100 watt max, and it's got an Intel CPU in it. I think it's a 10750H, I think. And this was about the same price, about $1,400. So, I'll compare that to and see how that gets on. Now, this has got a turbo mode, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly that does. That's normally pretty decent. So that's it. So, yeah, I've got quite a lot to work on. All right. Thanks again. Bye, guys.